Thursday in November is National Rural Health Day. The day recognizes the value of rural communities and draws attention to some of the unique challenges they face when it comes to health. According to American Heart Association Vice President of Community Health, Jessica Black, rural communities often face issues with access to health care, as well as access to resources like healthy food and transportation. That lack of access can lead to an increase in some diseases and a reduction in average life expectancy. Black says it's essential to raise awareness of these issues and help communities use available resources to surmount them.
There are things we could do in the actual community with just connecting resources and connecting people in better ways. There are also ways that we can leverage technology to connect things over farther distances. So thinking about the opportunities for growth in telemedicine. There are other ways that we can leverage our services that are out there. For instance, one of the great ways to get nutrition is via the school lunch program, and so making sure that our kids are participating in school lunch.
National Rural Health Day has been recognized since 2011 by the National Organization of State Offices of Rural Health. Many people are planning to hit the road to